Well, hello everyone, and welcome to his live stream recap. Skipping 2 hours and doing something better with your life than what I just did. Yeah, the Japanese live streams are a little bit painful to sit through. It's a little bit like pulling teeth. And there's a lot of, well, okay. There's news to talk about, but... And we're going to try and get through it quickly. Thankfully, a lot of it we talked about yesterday, so we can just get right to some of the stuff that is the more interesting. And I went into the wrong thing. But the music is very thematic today because we did finally get announcement of our Ignis event. But what I really want to talk about is the 7 stars first, because we got a new... Take the music down just a smidge. It's a little too exciting, relaxing. Alright, so basically our 7 stars. Now we didn't get any details on what the 7 stars would be like, but we did get details on their super TMR. So let's try and go through this really quickly. Balthair will be getting a Materia, Gun Mastery, and Machine Killer. No ideas of the percentages yet, but in general, pretty nice. There's a many gun masteries. Gilgamesh will be getting a 45 attack helmet with 15 defense, 2 spirit, because why have 1 spirit when you can have 2 spirit? And 30% elemental resistance to dark, as well as confuse, paralyze, and stone immunity. A lot of people have complained about this already, but the extra those are 3 really can be damaging to your team status effects, especially on a tank. So this might actually be okay on a tank more, but we'll see. Definitely ruffled some feathers tonight, but what else is new in the JP side community? Next up is Ayaka. Ayaka gets her staff, 12 attack, 166 spirit, and 15% to HP and MP. Nothing. That's just a great staff for anyone. That's a great staff for Ayaka. That's a great staff for Lyra. Skipping ahead a bit, we are going to talk about Roy. Roy gets an instrument. 20 attack, 70 magic, 156 spirit, plus 30% to HP and spirit, and 20% to MP. It's still a 2-handed instrument, so can't give it too much credit, but 156 spirit, 30% to extra to HP and spirit, as well as 20% MP. That's good for a lot of potential characters. Might even be really good for Lunera if you wanted her as just a singer. Because Lunera anyway, we'll have to wait to see about his kit, but it seems pretty good. And I skipped over one. Elfrida, or Elfried. 30% to HP, defense, and spirit, and true dual hand. Depends what the true dual hand percentage is, but an extra 30% to HP, defense, and spirit could be really good to just make your true dual hand units survivable. Next up on the list, okay, it is a little bit out of order, so that's okay. Let's talk about Duke. Duke gets 173 attack, spear, with Dragon Killer Plus. Now that probably means about 75% damage to dragons. No element on the spear, sadly. He really could use an ice element. The other thing that's going to depend on is if it is 2-handed or 1-handed. There isn't any information about it, and it could go either way. If it's not 2-handed, not a problem. Matter of fact, it's really great. Duke could be just incredibly damaging to dragons. We'll see what his 7-star kit is. A big part of whether Duke is going to be amazing in the future, I think, is going to be his 7-star kit and his enhancements. I'm hoping, because he's one of my favorite FFB units. Gladio. We skipped over Gladio. Let's go back, because Gladio is an amazing materia. 50% to HP, 30% to defense, and defense up when HP is below a certain percentage. Don't know what the percentage is, but that on certain tanks could be scary, especially in arena. 50% to HP? Ooh. Chills. Absolute chills. And it's not just because my apartment is cold tonight, because the heater just isn't doing the job, so to speak. And last but not least in this set, from the first list that we saw, is CG Laswell. A katana, 174 attack, high tide, and 10% stats from all espers. Yes, this is an amazing one. An extra, I mean, it really depends what esper you equipped, but that is a lot of extra stats on an already incredibly high statted katana. Woo! Boy, do I want to get my hands on that. Alright, next up we have Yuna. Yuna gets a robe, 32 defense, 44 magic, 78 spirit, 20% to fire, ice, thunder, and water resistance, and an extra 20% damage from espers. It's a pretty small amount of extra damage from espers, so we'll have to see what's in her 7-star kit. But a 78 spirit robe sounds amazing for a lot of different units. Every time I see a high level or a high statted spirit item, I just think, Lyra's just going to be in love with this, isn't she? Especially when Lyra gets her 7-star. That could be really scary. Next up, Lulu. Lulu gets materia, 60% to magic, and an extra 20% to spirit, and 50% water resistance. Okay, water resistance, fine. 60% magic is just great, and an extra 20% spirit could go on a lot of different units to make them just survive more. Why have a glass cannon when you can just have something that's more durable? Seems great. If you have multiple Lulus, congratulations. Going on to the CG unit, the one that I'm almost convinced will be one of the best of all time. CG Sakura gets a robe, 14 defense, 77 magic, 42 spirit, and 50% to thunder resistance, but that's not enough. We will also give that unit limit burst crystals per turn. Incredible, incredible. That is just another boost for mages. Thunder resistance on it is nice. 14 defense, not the greatest, but it has enough great stuff on it that I don't really care. I want that robe. Now, probably one of the more controversial ones of the night was CG Fina, a materia with auto HP and MP regeneration, limit burst per turn, attack, defense, magic, and spirit up. But it seems like it is an auto faith and possibly auto shell. We're not really sure. We're gonna have to wait and see the percentages on this one. Everybody was really mad about it when I heard it, when it was brought up on stream, but let's wait and see. It could be that CG Fina's 7-star kit is so good it just doesn't matter. So we'll see. Next up, the other Dragoon, Aranea. Aranea gets a materia, Spear Mastery plus True Dual Hand. Give it to Naru, give it to who else? Give it to just anyone you want to make this possibly truly good. We'll need to see the percentages to really figure it out. Next up, Prompto. Prompto gets a gun with 161 attack, 66 spirit, and dual wield. Dual wield on a gun frees up a kit. This could make Prompto actually insane. Or it could be insane for a lot of other units, especially hybrid units like maybe like Veritas. There's a lot of potential. Prompto's value just went through the roof. Congratulations if you have 4. And last, but certainly not least on this list, is Kunshira. who gets an accessory, and quite possibly just the best thing, one of the best things in this list. A accessory that is plus 50 to attack, magic, and 15% to fire, thunder, water, wind, and light resistance. Great accessory, fantastic for hybrids. No complaints. So yeah, that was pretty much it for all of that. We also got to a little just recap of the story info we'll be getting tomorrow. We got to see Alexander's first and second star limit burst. We got to see Odin 3-star limit burst, or summon animation. I'm tired. Phoenix 3-star animation, which Odin supposedly will have the highest attack, Katana Mastery, and Dragon Killer Plus. Put him on Duke, and Duke might actually be able to OTK Bahamut easily. Phoenix has Undead Killer Plus and supposedly a self re-raise? Phoenix might be amazing. Not much else about the Marlboro trial, except we know it is a 12-star difficulty. Okay, we should get some rewards from our monthly raid sometime in the near future, as well as there is what I can only describe as stuff. So from January 1st to January 8th, expect some kind of presents. Not really much details were given away. Hey, why not? Surprises. Might be good, might be bad. Could be anything in between for 7 days. Also, there is a tiny, and I do mean tiny, bit of news about the January 1st bundle surprise box. Now, we got one of these last year, which had a sword, some materia, as well as a few other things. It was a fairly nice little thing for 5k LPs. We didn't hear anything about what would be really in this box, but there was mumblings of maybe a 5-star ticket. So we'll just have to wait. Could be we find out in the data mine tomorrow. We could find out in the data mine. We may have to wait till New Year's. But, you know, moving on. Anything other news-wise? Well, they talked a little bit about the 30th Final Fantasy anniversary. They talked about discussing a mixer feature, which is still confusing and not worth talking about because it's probably not going to happen at least any time in the future, because we are still having to fix friend lists here in Japan, and it's probably going to be like that for quite a bit. And needless to say, people are not happy. Oh, by the way, yes, Japanese players are just not happy. Moving on. So now we talk about the next couple events. So first of all, we are going to be having a King's Knight Wrath of the Dark Dragon crossover event, which isn't a surprise. It was mentioned yesterday on the GL news that JP and GL would be getting it at the same time, but different, and different it is. So first of all, our units are going to be very different from or at least different enough. Looks like our old man healer, whatever. I haven't really seen too much details about him. He will be one of our 4 to 6 star units, and there's the giant, or the knight character, who will be our 5 to 7 star. Has a light holy great sword for his super TMR, as well as some kind of great sword mastery with, I'm not sure how much percent yet. We'll have to wait for the data drain. God damn it, why am I keep thinking of .hack? I mean data mine. As well as an MP regeneration. And of course there's a 3 to 5 star unit, as well as another 4 to 6 star unit. Looks like the 4 to 6 might have some kind of improved evade, whereas the cute little dino dragon, some kind of accessory, defense and spirit 15, possibly some HP up in there of about 20%. Did my phone just buzz? No, it didn't. as well as it looks like earth resistance by about 30%. And going back, it's mastery on the 4 to 6 star unit. Looks like rod mastery. Have to wait and possibly some spirit too. We'll have to wait and see exactly how much the percentages are before we get too excited. And as it turns out, I should have just taken the safe bet because we are getting a Final Fantasy XV Ignis event. The Ignis event will be our Mog King for the month, and you can get an accessory which is 22 magic, 22 spirit, as well as possibly some other feature. Just gonna have to wait and see. And a cane with 9 attack, 36 magic, and 54 to spirit. Big old whatever there. Libertus will be getting his 6-star awakening, so that car crash animation limit burst that we all love will become just a tiny bit more relevant before we forget about it because of all the new 7 stars. And last but not least is Ignis and Ravis will be our new characters added to the game. Oh, sorry, there's quite a bit of talking in this. Ravis gets the 4 to 6 star treatment, meaning that he will be cool, but ultimately not very meta-defining. Looks like his TMR will be a 40% to attack, as well as 50% darkness resistance. Pretty handy little TMR. But the big conversation is about Ignis, who looks to be a support and imbue character, so he is one of the first few characters who can actually imbue elements on other characters. Now I'm just going to say this is a really, really big deal, because he can give elements to characters who can't normally have elements, like Squall, Cloud, CG Hayu, depending on how you have him set up. So true dual hand units will this is a support unit that could be pretty important. As for his regular TMR, I haven't bothered translating it, but we'll just wait and see what it is tomorrow. It's an accessory that gives 8 defense and 8 spirit, and possibly some abilities. But the other big deal is his Super TMR, and this is a Super TMR you are probably going to want to get your hands on, because it is a dagger, but it is not just any dagger. It is 145 attack and 145 magic dagger. That is amazing for hybrid units, a ton of hybrid units, and not only that, as a dagger it can be equipped by many characters, and just to top it off, gives you an extra 20% to MP. Woo! That's a lot of talking. So, that is pretty much everything for now. Look, my raid orbs are refilled. We'll get to that in a bit. Nope, still haven't gotten our tickets. So that's it for pretty much everything that has happened in the amount of news that has come around. Seems in general like it will be a great... seems like it'll be a fantastic little start to the month, especially depending on how great Ignis is. I'm super excited for it. I'm actually really super excited for Ignis. What is it even called? King's Night event. I'm not super excited for. I'm also not entirely sure when it starts. It could be a back-to-back event, or it could be at the same time. Yeah, actually, we'll have both the Ignis story event and the King's Night event at the same time in Japan. So, lots and lots of things to do, lots of things to be excited about for the near future. And just because I can, let's do one pull on the Santa Rosa banner. See if we get even a little bit lucky. But I'm only using a regular ticket, because there's really not that much that I want to get So we'll do this one poll and then call it a day. Hey, it's a gold! We already did better than I thought we were going to. Hey, she's got a pretty damn good TMR. I'll take it. I will take it for sure. Anyway, folks, that's everything for now. I hope you guys have a fantastic holidays. Remember to be safe on New Year's, but go have some fun. Go do some enjoyable things. Go enjoy all kinds of stuff. I will be here in Japan. I'm looking forward to New Year's in Japan. It is a fun day, and it is quite culturally different from Canada, where I'm normally from. So anyway, this video has been going on for far too long, so have a good one, and I will see you all in the next video, and possibly in the new year, depending when I'm doing my next video. At least my Brave Exodus video. Anyway, talk to you later.